With the sixth pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Mikel Brown Jr., guard out of Louisville. Locked on NBA Draft Night is brought to you by Indeed. Go to Indeed.com/podcast and get a $75 sponsored job credit. Need to hire? This is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Terms and conditions apply. I'm Wes Goldberg, joined now by Eric Slater from Locked On Nets on the scene at the draft in Brooklyn. Eric, tell me a little bit more about Mikel Brown Jr. Why should Nets fans be excited about this pick?
Mikel Brown Jr. is the player that I have been most excited about throughout this pre-draft process in regard to the Nets, because I simply think that he has the highest upside out of any of these guards or any of these players outside of the top four. Checks a lot of the boxes that the Nets have looked for in the past: positional size, can handle the ball, can shoot from anywhere, dynamic athlete, and also just a really great kid. Got to speak to him a few times during the pre-draft process, and I know that he crushed it in his interviews with the Nets. So I think this is a player that has a lot of upside. There are some question marks about him, but I feel confident that with the tools that he has, with his attitude, with the Nets player development staff here, feel confident the Nets are going to get the most out of him.
I don't know if you heard about this, but the Nets have a lot of guards on the roster already. Eric, what need, though, does Brown specifically meet for this team?
He's just a good player with a lot of upside. And honestly, the Nets have a lot of guards, narrative. It's somewhat true. They have guards. They took 4 guards at the in the 2025 draft, but the most promising of those is Yegor Dioman, who really profiles more as a wing and looks like he's going to be a little bit more of an off-ball player, or a guy who can moonlight on or off the ball. So Nolan Traore, Ben Saraf, the true point guards the Nets took last year, those guys didn't show enough during their rookie seasons to preclude the Nets from taking the best player available here if that was a guard. And the Nets felt that it was a guard in Mikel Brown Jr., and he's a player who I think has more upside, significantly more upside than anybody the Nets selected last year. So I think that this pick makes a lot of sense from that perspective.
Long term, what else about this guy makes him the pick here? What does this say about Brooklyn's direction as an organization?
I think it says that, they're targeting a lot of things that they've targeted in the past in terms of positional size, positional versatility, some of those things. But moreover, the Nets have indexed very high on guys who are high character guys who are workers and things along those lines. They met with Mikel Brown Jr. 3 times during this pre-draft process. They met with him at the Combine in Chicago. They went down to meet with his family in Orlando, and then they hosted him for a workout in Brooklyn. And he's a guy who, with the tools that he has in his toolbox in terms of his skill set, his size, his athleticism, if you have that, positive attitude and you're a worker, I feel confident that this Nets coaching staff is going to be able to get the most out of him. So while, they've targeted guys like that in the past, maybe who didn't have the same kind of upside, Mikel Brown Jr. has that, mindset, personality that they like, and I think he has the tools in his toolbox to be a really exciting player.
Upside is the key word, it seems, with Mikel Brown Jr. Eric Slater will let you get back to the NBA draft festivities. For more on the Brooklyn Nets, subscribe to Locked On Nets wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks, Eric.